You can take your belt and shove it up your ass.
And I don't know why I'm having this weird lucid moment with you, Lou. But,
I get them out of everybody, damn it. I get them all the time.
You're building something out there, you know, and
So they actually took half my skull out.
Whoa.
He starts yelling at Gypsy Joe, and he's like, dude, why are you drinking a beer in my locker room, dude? And Gypsy Joe just looks up, and he said, I'm not the dude. I'm a man.
Oh, shit. Spooky Lou, another wonderful WrestleRoni for me and for you. Look, it's Marcus Twist.
What's up? What's up?
What are you doing here, man? What's up?
Hey, man. I mean, here to talk about a bunch of shit coming up.
I'm excited to have you. Nice little surprise. We got surprises left and right this week, Marcus Twist. We're having a good old time. I'm glad to have you. You had one hell of a birthday party. What do you got to say about that show?
Holy shit. What isn't there to say?
It's a good time.
Dude, it was a crazy good time. Wrestling the next day was not. I was really hungover. It was bad. But dude, it went over so much better than I thought it would, and it's gotten a lot of positive feedback everywhere, dude. Instagram's been exploding like for 2 weeks?
Yeah, man, it's been fun.
Yeah, 2 weeks on the Instagram. People were like liking it up. They're watching on WrestleRoni. The whole show's on there. Everyone was happy with the surprises. The surprise entrance with Beastman.
That's a good one.
Beating up Lane Callie, that was fun.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, it's me coming in the end, making the save, helping out Dee Dee, bringing home the W for Saturday Night Special.
Against the POR boys at that, you know. So, I mean, some names.
Yes, we went up against Roman 5-0, and JC Extreme tried to jump on in, and I said, I don't fucking think so. Put him down, and ended up doing the damn thing. Hit this crazy ass double team move on Roman. 1, 2, 3.
Ouch.
It's my birthday. We'll do whatever we want. There's the only rules where there weren't any.
No doubt. Marcus,
time.
I think we should mention we still do got Kadd Colvalt coming in just minutes. We just wanted to get together, talk. Marcus is going to hang out, but we do have former NICW Mid Atlantic champion, former now, Kadd Colvalt coming within minutes. You'll get to meet some of the APW crew. What do you think about that, Marcus Twist?
Hey, it's exciting. Yeah, it's, I'm not super familiar with the product, so but it's always a good time meeting somebody new and hearing about stuff they got going on.
They got the weekly TV here in West Virginia, numerous states. They got some weekly television going on, Marcus.
Yeah, that's hard to do. It's hard to manage a weekly product, man.
We'll get into that.
Coming up. I credit anybody who does it. I don't know if I would, but.
Well, you're here. You got some big things coming up. Hey, man, we might as well give it to him. You might as well give it to him because I'm happy for you. I'm excited. What's going on? What's coming up for Marcus Twist?
Well, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I believe. That is February 28th.
Okay.
Doing Fairbank Hall again for RSW. It's going to be Saturday Night Special and tag team action against Paparazzi and Frat Daddy. So that's going to be a really fun match. There's a lot of stuff going on with that show. But the thing that I think I'm most excited about, April 13th, R-Rated Wrestling, which is a newer deathmatch promotion. Well, they do a bunch of different types of wrestling, I'm sure, but I've seen a lot of their deathmatch stuff. They reached out to me yesterday. Mm-hmm. And we had been conversating about trying to organize their show and put it together, and I had Razor Jackson message me on Instagram. Once the dust was settled, we found out, got him a ring, we got him all figured out and sorted, and then he messages me and he's like, how would you feel about doing a triple threat West Virginia mountain fight? Which I'm extremely unfamiliar, especially with all the wrestling I've been doing around West Virginia. But going up against a familiar face and a not so familiar one to me, I've never wrestled him before, but it's going to be Marcus Twist, Roman 5-0, and Dmitry Alexandrov.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty wild. In a three-way West Virginia mountain fight.
Sold.
Dude, it's gonna be nuts. I have no idea what I'm getting into. I don't know if I'm probably gonna just load a pepperoni up with some razor blades. We're gonna walk in there, whoop some ass because I don't know. Those guys, I don't think either one of them are from West Virginia, but I am, and I know how shit goes down there. So,
Man.
no, the party. I hope they know what they're getting into.
And they have a loaded show anyway. I mean, that's a loaded match on a loaded show. I'm excited.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm ready to see Hardcore become their first champion.
There you go.
Fucking Chaos guys, or I mean, we've fought all around like all last year. Really got into it like at the beginning of Negative Outlook, the very first show.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore is a good friend of mine, and I mean, like, I definitely deserve the opportunity. I hope to see him walk away with. I believe that's his first singles title, also.
Okay, hell yeah, man. Win it in old Dub V, baby. I'm about it. It's time, Marcus Twist. We're
That's
going
what I'm saying. Hurricane, West Virginia, April 13th, man.
I love
if
it.
you're in, which I'm sure a lot of people are in southern West Virginia, it's west of Charleston. I know we got some viewers all around. We got plenty of guys who pay attention, so.
Get it.
I don't come south too often, but if I'm going to go south, it'd be for something like this.
No doubt.
Get your tickets. Check it out.
Get on
Rated
it.
R Wrestling.
All right, you ready to add old Kadd Colvalt, pick his brain for a minute?
Yeah, man. Let's see what's going on.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Former NICW Mid Atlantic champion. I'm excited to have him. He's making some noise in Virginia, APW. Kadd Colvalt, finally on the Roni. How you doing, my man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing pretty good. You know, we've been dealing with a flood for the past few days down here, so trying to keep dry, trying to stay safe.
I feel for y'all, man. I want to put it out there. Anything I can do to help Jeff James doing what he's doing, anything I can do with the channel, I definitely want to help in this. Kadd Colvalt, Marcus Twist, Kadd Colvalt.
Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Here we are.
Man, pleasure's all mine.
I was telling him, Kadd, maybe you can sell him on what APW is doing recently with the weekly TV at the fire department. Looks like y'all's drawing some crowds. What's going on a weekly basis up there?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, APW. I think that we're really starting to kind of catch some fire right now. I mean, we're doing weekly TV, obviously. But on top of that, we have Joe Brody running the ship. You know, I love Joe. We don't agree on absolutely everything, but one thing for certain is that he is a great wrestling promoter, and he's really trying to get the ball rolling. Here recently, APW has joined up with a bunch of promotions in the West Virginia. I think there's even one in maybe Ohio. I've kind of formed this union, a little bit of a territory. And yeah, I mean, it's on the up and up, man. It's really cool to be a part of. You know, especially so early on in my career. It's really cool.
On the outside looking in, it looks awesome. And then you got the shows NICW's running in Virginia. You recently went down there. You won a battle royal. You come back. You win the title. How'd that feel for you?
Oh man, that. I don't even know if I can find the words that actually like describe that.
Right.
You know, we went to my hometown of Grundy, which is where I actually got into wrestling and met Joe Brody and all that. Was at the first show in Grundy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool story if you want to talk about that in a bit. But
For sure.
anyways, I won a battle royal in Grundy that gave me a shot at any NICW or APW title that I wanted. And I went after my mentor, Bobby Yella, the one and only Yella Man, love him to death. Then we came back, and me and him had a hell of a match, man. I mean, that's my favorite match so far. I went back and watched that match a few times, and I'm really happy with it. And you know, I won that title, and winning that in front of my hometown crowd, it was It was also my Nana's 70th birthday. You know, I had
Nice.
friends, family there, had a bunch of people there. It was just like emotionally, it was I. It's gonna be hard to actually live up to that.
Yeah.
You know, for anything anytime soon.
Hit the peak early. Don't get no better.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I did end up losing it back to Bobby Yella on APW TV. You know, I gave him, you know, the whole reason why I was even putting that opportunity was because of Bobby, and I thought it was only right to give that back to him, and you know, the better man won that night. But hey, it's 1-1,
There you
and
go.
I want a rematch.
Let's get it. Let's it. Book it. Book it. Twist, what do you got for him? I can see the gears turning.
Well, so like, okay, so a couple questions. So like, relatively new to wrestling. How long you been in the business? Give me the rundown of what even got you there.
Oh Lord, this is a pretty cool story. I feel, you know, right now I'm not teen. You might not be able
Wow.
to tell. You know,
Huh.
the hairline's a little far back. I got a bit of a beard going on, but I swear I'm still a teenager.
I'll be damned.
But you know, wrestling has really been the only thing like I wanted to do. I know that sounds cliche as hell, but uh, it really has been. And whenever I was in high school, I was hell bent on graduating and going to a wrestling school and just doing it straight out of the gate, hitting it. Um, but my senior year of high school, I decided to play soccer for God knows what reason. I don't know why, but ended up tearing my ACL during a soccer practice
Mm.
near the end of the school year. And you know, I graduated and then I had surgery in the fall. You know, an ACL injury is it's no easy thing.
Right.
It's a year-long recovery, and that really put me out. Whenever I graduated, I was 170 pounds, and then I had the surgery, and I shot up to over 240. I was in a real bad place. I was beat, man. I was just beat because I had these dreams and these aspirations, everything I wanted to do, and it was all just, you know, stopped, and I didn't know what to do. I really lost my purpose there for a while. But it was interesting because I was about 8 to 9 months after my surgery, and a friend of mine told me that there was a wrestling show going on locally, just a couple minutes up the road, and I was like, "Man, that's crazy!" Because there hasn't been local wrestling down here for over a decade, you know, longer. If we're going off of like spot shows being ran, it's been a long time.
And where are you at
And I was like, "Man,
exactly?
that's awesome." Grundy, Virginia,
Okay,
Grundy.
you said that. Grundy, got you. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Grundy. There, you know, and I don't mean to go on a side tangent, but you know, like Grundy and Buchanan County in its entirety used to really be a really cool wrestling a cool little wrestling territory. You
Huh.
know, over at Twin Valley, I talked to my nana a lot. She used to go to shows, you know, 30 years ago. Oh Lord, longer than that, actually, around 40 years ago. Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair,
Nice.
Sting, you know, wrestlers did travel in this area, but you know, it just kind of died out. It's this is a very it's a sparse area. But
Right.
anyways, heard about this wrestling show. I was like, okay, I have to go see what's going on. You know, and I'm getting near the end of my ACL recovery, and I went and I had my girlfriend with me, and we go and sit down. I'm like, man, I need to go find the promoter. And she's like, what are you talking about? You need to go find the promoter. And I was like, listen, this is networking, okay? Like I can make something happen here. And you know, I'm walking around. I run into Joe by God Brody, and I introduced myself, and I kind of, you know, told him who I was and what I was wanting to do, and I wanted to get into wrestling. And he was like, hey, well, you know, we run training up in Beckley if you ever want to come give it a shot. And I was like, hell, that sounds awesome. Ended up, you know, watching the show, had a really fun time. Texted Joe, and I was like, hey, if you ever need anything, you know, let me know. And, you know, told me about the training. I came up there, and I started training under him and under Lance Erickson. Started my training with them, and I just hit the ground running from there. After that, after a couple months, started training with Bobby Yella, and um, I had my first match a month and a day after I started training,
Okay.
which was absolutely bonkers. It was crazy, nerve-wracking to say the least,
I'm sure.
especially whenever your trainer is Lance Erickson. That man is no joke.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had my first match a month after I started training, and I've been working on it ever since. I was thrown on TV shortly after that, and I gotta say, it's not lost on me.
Good.
I am only to get back to the original question. I'm not even 6 months into this yet. Um, from first match to now, I'm not even 6 months in, and it's not lost on me the fact that this early on, I am on a wrestling show that is televised in multiple states and multiple areas. That's not lost on me, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of this. Yeah, talking about it now, it just it's crazy to think about because there's many wrestlers out there that it takes a decade to make it to a TV show, or they never do make it to a TV show. And starting here and learning all that I'm learning, I'm like a sponge. I'm just soaking it all in. I couldn't have asked for a better way in, and it all happened by complete accident.
I'm honestly surprised because I've watched the matches. I've done commentary on some of your
Yeah.
matches. I wouldn't think you was only 6 months in. I mean, you're a natural. I'll give you that. 110%. You're killing it, man. Wow.
Well, I really appreciate that, man. I'm trying, and just being honest. It's scary as hell. Kadd Colvalt is scared sometimes.
Right?
It's a daunting task sometimes to be in this position so early on. There's times whenever I'm feeling real anxious about everything, to where I'm like, man, I wish that I could have started way, way down where nobody's seeing me in front of five people, so I could, just be shitty and nobody really see it.
You got to be
Um,
good. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, 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 exactly. But whenever you're wrestling on TV, there's not a lot of room to be shitty.
Yeah.
Like you're either good or you're not on the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a scary thing, but it's also motivating. I'm learning things like this. It's a crazy experience.
Hell yeah. Twist, tell him about your early days. Tell him about back in your day training, some of the hell y'all went through.
Well, I started training in 2020. Yeah, it was right after COVID kind of like picked up, and I left out of the oil field and went in and trained under T.J. Phillips. It's one of the best chain wrestlers of all time. He's still, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about his wrestling. Him as a person, totally different. But training was hard. Training was really hard on all of us. I mean, like it was a lot of repetition, a lot of high expectations. I think I made it about 5 months into training, and I started getting out there. It's a little different up here in northern West Virginia. We don't have like a weekly TV or anything like that. But I've traveled. I think I've wrestled in eight or 10 different states now. I've been on every kind of show that you could possibly think of, from a death match in a garage to being in a stadium. I've wrestled, way East Coast, in Dirty Bird Stadium in front of a whole shit ton of people, and then I've wrestled in front of 3 or 4 people. I think I came in whenever wrestling started to boom again. Indie wrestling started to like really pick up. And I've been anywhere and everywhere, and there's different kinds of pressures that you'll feel. I'm doing like live TV. I've done some streaming. I've never experienced a weekly show. It sounds real taxing. I mean, I've gone up to Pittsburgh and I've wrestled for 880 here and there back whenever they were TV and they were doing their week. They just started doing weekly, and then I'm over to night shift shoot job. So I mean, like I was right there, foot in the door, just didn't quite make it, and the schedules don't line up anymore. But You sound like you're doing what you should be doing. I mean, especially being 6 months in, you're getting reps that normal people aren't getting
Yeah.
in your position, and you're getting opportunities that young guys definitely aren't going to get. One of my biggest regrets is that I didn't start early enough, because I just turned 35. We just had a show for my birthday in Morgantown. Had a blast, had a whole bunch of like real good friends, awesome buddies come in and put on a good show for all the people who bought a ticket. It's good to see that you'll never have to regret that because you started so early on. And it's all uphill from here, man. I mean, like you got your start, you got your foot in the door, but you got nothing but time ahead of you to get as good as you possibly can be. Will open up a lot of opportunities for yourself being as young as you are.
Where would you
I mean,
like to go?
yeah, like that was gonna where I was gonna segue into having your
Okay.
first singles title and so early on in your career. Where do you go from here? Where would you like to see yourself? I mean, like, what are your plans for the northern part of the state?
Mhm.
Come up and see us. Come on.
I'd love to, guys. Right now I've only really wrestled for APW, and I've loved that. And I really wanted to. I wanted to prove a well. I wanted to really hone in my, I guess my ability first. But one thing that I'm very very certain about is around the mid of the year, maybe a little bit before that, we'll see. I really want to start traveling, going to different promotions. There's a lot of things going on over in Eastern Tennessee that look really cool. Northern West Virginia looks really cool. E- uh, Eastern Virginia. Those are things that I really want to try to break into. I really want to be, traveling. Right now, I'm making the trek up to Beckley, which is, 2.5, 3 hour drive. If we have a
Wow.
spot show, wherever.
Weekly.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I really want to start traveling soon, just so I can get even more experience coming in, because being on the weekly TV, it's kind of the same circle of guys, and we'll have a new guy come in from somewhere every so often. But I really want to take in all walks of life, because one thing is for certain, you walk into an APW locker room and it's 1982.
Yeah.
And that has its good sides and it has its bad sides. Mostly good, I have to say.
That leads into
But
another question that I had actually. So that's funny that you say that with it being 1982. I'm traditionally Southern trained too. I get it. The chain
mm,
wrestling, your character sticks out, and your interaction with the crowd always sticks out more than your moves, your spots. Like it's not all flash. It's the sizzle in the frying pan. It's not necessarily the meat in it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah, of course. Man, Joe Brody, I think that man hates my guts because I wear kick pads. Oh, Joe,
oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, you're the
No,
kick pads guy. Okay.
I, That's because I don't want to wear boots, and it's hard to
Yeah.
find a reasonable bootmaker. It's easy to just go buy a pair of shooters from Nike.
Mm-mm.
They're nice. They're real nice.
Yeah, well, okay, well, just to be, fair to girl Joe Brody, I do have a pair of wrestling boots. Actually, this might make him more mad. I do have a pair of wrestling boots, but but I just prefer the kick pads
Same.
personally. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
like I just think they're more comfortable. I mean,
Yeah. I,
and
I
and I like the feel of them a lot more and the look of them.
yeah. Like you get the extra ankle support from a boot.
Hmm.
A pair that look a lot like Shawn Michaels, like early like motorcycle boots that got resold. Kind of like Billy Gunn, like think of it like that way. I've only maybe wore them 2 times ever, and I spent like almost $200 on them. I can't devote myself to
Yeah.
wearing these. So I'm a kick pad shooters guy. But
Hey,
so
that's my guy right there. That's my guy. That's all I like to hear.
like I'm a kick pad shooters guy. Even whenever I got long pants on, I got kick pads on underneath them. So, but so that transition of styles, like I know that like you're still early on in your career. do you feel like you're well enough prepared that you could go work like a more fast-paced spot style, or like work yourself like a lucha-esque match, or like a more modern wrestling match?
Hmm.
Does it make you nervous? Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's a really interesting question. I would say, I would say that for starters, I think that APW is a versatile company. Joe Brody loves the classic Southern style territory wrestling, and there's a lot of that. But there's also a lot of guys coming in. Okay, AJ Evans, Lane Callie. I'm sorry, Spooky. I'm sorry. You know, we have these guys coming in, and they are not, the Southern style. Let's mat wrestle for 15-minute guys. They're not, and Joe Brody is honestly pretty open to that, and it's really cool watching it happen. And a very cool thing that's happened in my brain. Whenever I got into wrestling, I wasn't one, honestly, for a lot of chain wrestling. I mean, I really wasn't. I didn't really mess with it like that. But the more that my brain has kind of transitioned into that place of thinking from chain and focusing on chain and focusing on that story rather than going from spot to spot to spot. The more that I understand it, and the more that I've grown to really love it and like it. Um, because now sometimes I'll watch a match that is more spot oriented, whatever you want to call it, and I'm like, man, where's the story at? Where's the story? Like I'm channeling my fucking inner Joe Brody. You know, but to get back to your question, I feel like that I'm definitely equipped to go out there and have any kind of match. I feel like that I'm very versatile. A bit of a plug on my wrestling shirt, but I feel like I'm a versatile wrestler, and I feel like every time I'm in the ring, I'm learning something new. And and yeah, I mean, like I don't think I'll be going out there and doing topes and shit like that, but I'd be more than willing to give it a shot. I will try to get my 230-pound ass over that top rope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, and I definitely plan on doing stuff like that too in the future. Yeah, but yeah, to get back to the main point, yeah, I totally feel like I could go out there and really try any style, but I do love the classic shit now. I didn't before, but it's really grown on me.
Oh yeah.
uh, that's one of my biggest inspirations. I mean, like my first trainer was big on Dynamite Kid. Bret Hart is my favorite wrestler.
Hmm.
When you need something to rely on in matches like that, especially if you're good enough to chain wrestle yourself, that's a good opener. Because I mean, like I was just talking about, like doing the Memphis wrist lock into the hammer lock transition, and then just swapping hammer locks, just like Dynamite and Bret Hart. Go around in a circle, guy gets shit canned through the ropes. It's a good opening. And you can
Mm.
literally do that with anybody, and you can chain wrestle yourself. So I mean, like it gets you out of sticky situations, especially whenever you're sitting there and you're thinking, like, our styles are so different. How can I transition into this and start telling the story? And then like your psychology comes in, and you're like, well, I'm getting frustrated because he keeps on reversing my shit. So I'm gonna mush him right in the face, and then we're
Yeah.
just gonna fist fight from here on out, and then we'll run those spots and do these different things. Um, what since I've talked about Dynamite Kid, Bret Hart, who do you think is like a big inspiration for you, as far as like who do you watch, being a 19-year-old guy, being brand new? Who's like someone that who's your go-to guy? Who's your favorite wrestler? Who's guys that you learn from, watch? I mean, like your tape study got to be totally different than mine.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if this is like a basic answer, but top three wrestlers. Well, these are top three current wrestlers. I also love Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart might be my all-time favorite. I love me some Bret. But like top three like modern current guys that I love to watch and study and try to break stuff down. I love me some Bryan Danielson. Uh, CM Punk is like one of my favorites. You know, he's my childhood, and also Malachi Black. Uh, I love Malachi Black. He is so inventive and different, and just I love everything about his wrestling, and just how physical it is.
You already gave him his
Um,
WWE name back. Jeez, oh whiz. He hadn't even signed yet. Come on, settle down.
Hey man,
You
you
got
know, going back to talking about training, uh, I I love Bobby Yo. I love that man to death.
same.
And I would say that he is my mentor and he is my trainer. You know, I started off with a Lance Erickson, and that's where I learned my basics of chain and just first breaking into the biz. Um, and that was really cool because Lance has been there, Lance has done that. And and I'm very fortunate for that. And he went off and started doing something else, and then Bobby came in, and Bobby's style of training is very different. And I love it. Bobby, I feel like there's a lot of older wrestlers who come into a locker room and see a guy like me, you know, 19, fresh in the business, doesn't have any pull for anything. And I try to say something, I try to voice my opinion. There's like, you know, shut up, you don't have the experience, you're not, you know, like, talk to me in 15 years, kid. There's a lot of guys like that, and Bobby is not like that. Bobby doesn't care if you've been in the business for 40 years or if you've been in it for 2 days. If you have a thought, if you have an idea, bring it up, and he'll try to figure it out. Bobby's awesome, and he's really prepared me for just wrestling under any circumstance. I don't mean to be putting Bobby over like crazy, but I kind of do at the same time. God, I love that guy.
Yeah.
And brownie points.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see how you put him over.
Oh yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
watching.
no, but I love you, Bobby. I love you, brother.
Yellow man, shake the room.
I shake the room. Yeah, that's my guy, man. I mean, I think, you know, out of the matches that I've had so far, I don't mean to transition into a different topic, but out of the matches that I've had so far, you know, I've wrestled Bobby 3 times technically, but the match in Grundy and the rematch the week after, those are 2 of my favorite matches that I've had today. I mean, like, I haven't had a lot, but out of the ones that I have had, those 2, especially the Grundy match, that's
Yeah.
my top. We went out there and we wrestled for almost 20 minutes, and it felt like 3.
Really? Okay.
And yeah, and that, you know, there's been matches to where, you know, I'm to where like we're 7, 8 minutes in, and I'm laying there. You know, like
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I can't breathe, I'm dying. But
Sure.
with Bobby, it's always a breeze, man. It's a breeze, and it's fun.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fun. It's a breeze, and it's a competition, and I love that.
Hell yeah. I gotta check them out. We'll link them in the description so folks can check them out because it sounds
Yeah,
like
of
good
course.
stuff.
Yeah, man.
I've been sitting here watching you two talk, and it's cool because it's a nice representation of what I'm going for with the channel now. I like what Joe's doing, so we're showing a lot of old school wrestling. We're showing a lot of APW. We got Kadd Colvalt here. We got Marcus Twist and his crazy deathmatch chicanery, and we got deathmatch people. So what I'm thinking, fellas, I'll start with you, Twist. Let the other one know about the scene, what you got going on, the people involved, what we're doing, and then when he's done, tell him about APW, what's going on there, and I think the audience might learn something as well. Have at it, Twist.
Oh man, which scene?
The,
First off,
the no ring
there-
deathmatch scene in Morgantown, negative outlook, your birthday show, maybe whatever's going on up there.
Well, like I said, I came from traditional like Southern trained like guy. He was also a former king of the death match. So I come from all different walks of life and work all different styles. What has kicked off within the past couple years has been this gritty underground, no ring, no rules, fist fights that are, I mean, like there's wrestling few and far between, but it's a totally different atmosphere. Lane Cali has just experienced a little bit of it. We had him for, you know, the birthday show. He popped in. and he got to wrestle one of my other mentors, great friends, Beastman. Um, it's totally different than a traditional sit down, go and watch. Like, oh hey, we're gonna sit down, we're having a good time. It's family friendly environment. You're walking into it couldn't be more opposite.
Death's
There's
Den.
people, yeah, there's people that respect it. There's people that don't respect it. I don't really pay attention to anyone's opinion on any of it. I'm sure that people that came before me that were doing the same thing and getting in there and doing the crazy death match shit and then proving that they can work. That's the biggest difference with this scene. It seems to be like
Yeah.
because I mean, you got so many guys that are putting out like these top quality like technical matches, and then they go in, they hit each other with light tubes, they give each other gusset plates. Um, you the crowd interaction, the way that like things feel compared to like a regular wrestling match, like it's like you're walking into a fight club with entrance music. Now
Flying glass.
yeah, like glass. There's barbed wire. There's I mean like it's insane.
Spooky Lou might
Um,
hit you in the head with a chair if you're lucky.
yeah, you might get hit with a chair out of nowhere. Spooky might just nail you. But it's it's wrestling that isn't based. It's not for the deathmatch fan, not for the typical deathmatch fan. It's not for the typical wrestling fan. Um, the scene has kind of bloomed into something completely different. Where people that never watch wrestling and never really got into deathmatch come in and they're like, I don't know about any of that shit, and I don't know if I care, but I like. And I run into a lot of people that are like that. And I mean, like it kicked off in evil ways in Pittsburgh, and the underground, the dirty, the punk scene. I mean, like it's where wrestling, deathmatch, and punk music and that DIY underground kind of collided. And then we kept it going and started Negative Outlook. Like, what was that last year? The year before, I believe, is the first show that we had. It
Yeah.
was me and Deep in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But it's slowly growing, and I see it everywhere now. So I mean, like where you're in the beginning of your career, and there's a lot of stuff that's new to you and things that you haven't experienced yet. This is like a whole new genre of music to somebody who's just been listening to one kind for as long as they can remember. Because I've seen both, I've watched both, I've done both. Um, but dude, like it's there's something just really new and really special and really different about like what we've been up to. Um, and just to see it thrive and to see opportunities open up. Because I have a pretty big opportunity we talked about before you got here, April 13th, coming in new, completely new like company, new venue, new area. Uh, Trying to bring back the old IWA East Coast guys to check out what we got going on. But it's popping up everywhere. The no ring thing is the new next big thing. That's how I feel about it. And if you can work, and if you're willing to bleed a little bit, because everyone says blood, sweat, and tears, you actually put it in there. It's not a metaphor
Right.
with a ring death match. There is blood, there is sweat, there is tears. Um, if you motivate yourself and you go that direction, that route, it's for me way more fulfilling, I think, in some ways than a traditional match would be. But I mean, like I said, there's very varying opinions, but um, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. It goes.
I love
So I
it.
mean,
Man, that's what I love about wrestling is that wrestling can be damn near anything. You know, and I love that. I am not like a purist.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that wrestling has to take place within the ropes traditionally. And at some point, I would love to to get to get like involved in that. I think that'd be fun as hell, man. I think that's awesome. But
Joe's
whenever it
gonna kick
comes
my
to
ass.
oh
yeah,
hell yeah, he is.
Damn it.
God damn it. You're ruining my kids. You're ruining my kids. You're putting these bad ideas in their head.
It's fun. It's a good time. I'll say that
Hey,
much. I'll keep it
Joe, if
on.
you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
if Joe would never watch this, And if Joe would book me, he wouldn't know that I ever did deathmatch a day in my life.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Twist is still working regular shows. Don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
Very few people that would even know. I just had a match with Gen Z that was a more traditional match, like not long ago, actually.
Very
I still got
sports
those.
entertainment. We better get on it.
We had some Southern, we had some sports entertainment, we had a little bit here and there. But I mean, like you would never know that I go out and, 1 week I'm doing suplexes and headlocks, and then the next week I'm hitting some guy over the head with a light tube. You'd never even know the difference if I didn't tell you.
One thing you said when you was talking about the Morgantown scene was the DIY element, and I think that translates over to what Joe's doing. He's putting on this show, weekly television show. Looks like you're watching classic Georgia wrestling with modern stars and doing it up. Kate, tell Twist what's going on in Beckley. What are you seeing up that way? He might be froze. Nope.
No.
Only on the Roni, baby.
Might have missed the question, man.
Okay, that's cool. Oh God!
Oh, shit.
What'd you do? You like pushed him. I saw it. You pushed him out of the way, dude. That's terrible.
He's gone.
Oh no, I gotta find my keyboard now. Well, I think we're doing all right. I think we're just having a pretty decent show.
Yeah, everything was going good now.
Oh man, what's happening here? Well, here we are. Did we piss him off? Oh, there he is.
I was gonna say I brought up tricking the older fellers.
There we
Oh
go.
my God,
Hell yeah! Right back to
guys.
it. Look at us.
I am sorry if I disappear. The Wi-Fi's been terrible. Like I said, the weather's been terrible. Stuff's
can
been
tell.
going in and out. I'm so sorry.
You're
I'm so
good.
sorry, guys.
You're good. My question for you, we was talking about the
Yeah.
DIY, about how DIY is going on, and I can see Joe's doing the same thing. He's doing it himself. He's editing these videos, making weekly TV, the setup, the banner in the background, the intro music. It's all done a certain way. But he's got a certain locker room too. So tell me about the atmosphere there, the fans, the people you work with. Take us to APW land in Beckley. Let us know how it operates.
Well, just like I said earlier, you walk in that place, it's 1982. Joe is really trying to present a classic territory wrestling show, and I think that's awesome. And I think everyone in the locker room thinks that that's a really awesome concept and idea. And it's not like you go into that locker room and everybody is the same kind of wrestler, and it's all people who are 55 years old, and and they hate the modern business, and Vince McMahon's shit show company sucks. It's not all that.
Okay.
There's a lot of young guys. There's me. You got Chase Bennett. You got Corey Sparks. The list goes on and on and on. And Joe's trying to present. He's trying to present that classic wrestling format. And everybody in the back is also trying to contribute to that and make it that. And it's really cool to walk in and just experience that. Something that I haven't really ever seen from from any other like independent show. But backstage, I mean, it's a united front. Like we all have disagreements. Obviously, it happens. Joe is very particular about what he wants and how he wants it, and sometimes that can cause friction. But at the end of the day, we get it figured out. We come together, and I think we put on one hell of a show every week. So. That's the state of IPW right now, and it's just getting better every week. It really is.
The proof's in the pudding. I mean, the shows are out there on Rumble. Again, I'll link it in the comments. I'll present it and say Spooky Lou approved every day. For real. Where are you at on Twist? You want to go up and visit APW sometime, go old school?
Yeah, as long as they don't watch this, they'd probably book me too.
Hey man,
we talked about it. Like I mean, ever since you've taken this adventure with helping out Joe, and I'd always mentioned traveling around, maybe having doing a more traditional Southern thing somewhere. Like I mean, because those are fun matches for me too. I have fun doing any and all different types. I talked to Lane Cali a little bit. I've talked to other people that have popped in there because Rucker went there a couple times, I believe.
No, not the Joes yet.
No, not the Joes.
Not the Joes.
Brandon and Rucker with the
USW coming soon, by the way. Brian Hardy coming up later this week.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But I've been talking to those guys. They've been having a blast doing this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, man, where can I sign up for that? Like, where do I go and show off that I can chain wrestle and work the crowd? That's where I'd like to have a little blend of that, because it seems like I get less and less of that nowadays.
What about you, Kate? Are you taking a look at the overall scene,
Hey,
watching
man,
other promotions? Uh-oh.
Am I good?
Good.
Am I alive? Are we here?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Once again, I'm sorry, guys. Service is
Oh,
terrible right now.
It
But,
happens all the time around here.
your,
It's all
your
good.
question.
What was my
Yeah.
question? Oh yeah, are you checking out other
Yeah,
promotions in West Virginia? You keeping an eye on the scene?
Oh yeah, man. I definitely am, and I love the stuff that I'm seeing. I'm just happy because pro wrestling I feel like is really on the rise right now. Everywhere across the U.S. I think that's really cool that like that all these indie promotions are really thriving and doing good business. I just love to see that. I talk to so many people who think that pro wrestling is dead or it's dying or it's the worst it's ever been, and I couldn't disagree more. I think this is the most popular wrestling has been since the '90s,
Yep.
it trickles down. Going back to good old Joe Brody, he hates WWE. He hates it with a passion. He'll talk to you about it for hours. He
Hasn't
hates that
watched
shit.
it since like '98 or something.
Yeah. I know it's bad, but he actually hates that. But I think that he would say, I'm not going to speak for the man, but I think that he would say, at the main top, I think it trickles down. All the popularity, all the eyes around it, it trickles down into APW, into other promotions, and I just think that's awesome.
No doubt. And not only the popularity right now, everybody's on their toes because of this WWE ID. And if it's not that, hey, NWA's watching this guy, so if I work this guy, they're watching me too. TNA's always scouting. Twist, tell me about the pressure that puts on a man. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What?
Yeah.
I'd ask Twist, but you both can go say
sorry.
No, you're
sorry,
good,
guys.
Bubby.
I cannot hear anything.
These
properly.
greenhorns coming on here starting their
guys.
shit.
I mean, like the pressure's never off, regardless of where you're working at, who you're working in front of, because you always want to have a good show and you want everything to go, smooth and good. The fact that there are so many people that pay attention to what you're doing at any given point in time. Because whenever they brought up to Dimitri, Razor Jackson, I talked about him a little bit earlier. He talked, Rated R Wrestling. We were getting everything situated. And he brought my name up to Dimitri, who's in Australia right now. And he knows me. I never familiarized myself with like his work, but I've seen him advertised here, there, wherever. Mm-hmm. But he knew who I was.
There you go.
It puts extra added pressure to know that not only like are the big companies paying attention, but your competition does too.
There you go. Yeah.
People that you would never even think would see you, pay attention to you, know who you are. Just as easy as that, they've heard of you, they've watched your stuff, they've seen your stuff, they know who you are, they're waiting for an opportunity to open up to work with you. Yeah. Which I was totally oblivious to. So it's not just the WWE ID, because I had a conversation about that with Jace Mara earlier from Rise Wrestling. I was talking to him about the WWE ID thing. But literally everybody will pay attention to you. At some point, somebody important somewhere is going to see what you're doing. Yeah. So you have to be on your toes nonstop. There's no time to relax in any way, shape, or form. Because, dude, if that guy's watching from Australia, who else is? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else is paying attention to your work? If somebody on the other side of the planet can see it, who isn't watching you at this point? Yeah. So it's not all nerves. It's, if anything, it should tell you that you should rise to every occasion that comes across you. It's not just one company, it's every company. It's not just one match, every single match. Every time you walk out there, you need to be 110% the best that you can possibly be. Because somebody's gonna see it.
There you go.
And if the right person sees you doing the wrong shit, you might burn up an opportunity for yourself. So there's extra pressure there, 110%, and there should be for everybody. The internet's a really big place, but it's a small world.
Yeah. Kadd, with that added pressure, now we know they're not only in the crowd, they're watching your every move on the internet. Tell me about the pressures of being a pro wrestler when you go out there in front of the people. I'll give you time to think about the question.
I would say that whenever I go out, oh wait,
I think
am I good?
you're on like a
Can you guys
super
hear me?
delay.
Are we good?
I see you. You're just super delayed, I think.
Oh no.
You're good. Just tell me about the pressures
Okay.
of being a wrestler and we'll be
Okay,
fine.
well. Okay, so I know this is super delayed. Sorry, people watching this. My apologies. But this is the way that I'm kind of feeling about it. Whenever I go out there and I have a match, I am already so stressed out thinking about just the crowd and just the people there.
Right.
As is, that absolutely stresses me out. But I think as long as I'm going out there and I'm putting on the best match that I possibly can, and I'm trying to make my opponent look as good as they can look, and they're doing the same, and we put on a killer match, then I feel like I'm doing my part of trying to, I don't know if be seen is like the right words, because like I'm so young and I'm not worried about like getting signed right now. Right now I'm worried about getting experience.
Oh, yeah.
That's my main thing, is that I just want to get experience. I want to have matches. I want to meet people. I want to learn new styles, all this different stuff. And then, years down in the future, whenever I feel like I've acquired all this knowledge and I'm feeling really confident, then I'll really start trying to, get like noticed.
Good.
But to be honest, of course, I would love to one day make it to, one of the big companies. I would love to go to Japan and wrestle in New Japan. I would love to be in AEW or the big dog, the Fed.
The
Yeah, I would love to do that one day eventually. But to me, as long as I'm, putting on good matches and fans are happy, and hopefully one day I can make a living off of this, and support myself and my family, I'm happy. I feel like I'm blessed as is to just be able to be living this dream, and be where I'm at right now. I'm so grateful for that and just happy that I'm just doing it. Like I'm actually doing it. And I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes I just forget about that.
We talk about that a lot on this show. I love it. Fellers, we're in the final 10 minutes. We've made it. In case you don't know how we do, we'll give you a chance to throw out your socials, your merchandise, upcoming dates, anything you want to get off your chest, whatever. Marcus Twist, I'll start with you. What's going on in your world, man?
Oh, so much. So almost too much. So we got Rated R Wrestling coming. We have RSW coming. Me and Dee Dee just picked up another Neo Pro date. It'll be the first one for this year. Obviously, look out for Victory Championship Wrestling. We'll be back in the fall because of remodels to the building. I could probably hold on to that until next time. But I'll tell you this much: Marcus Twist is getting a passport because we're going international, baby. So, but we'll release that on the
Oh, hell
socials.
yeah.
So I mean, you might see Marcus Twist in Canada coming up very soon. It's Marcus_Twist on pretty much anything. Just Marcus Twist on Facebook, Mr. Twist and Shout on Twitter, because somebody took Marcus Twist on Twitter. I don't understand. It is what it is. You can watch all the matches from Marcus Twist's birthday, Deathmatch, Sock Hop only on WrestleRoni right now. So if you guys haven't watched that yet, go check them out. It's my love child with myself. It was a work of love. It was my way to kind of, oh, hey, you guys want to see like what's inside my head and what has been. This is kind of like your opportunity to do so. If you ever decided that you wanted to get to know me better, go ahead and give those a watch. Check them out. It's a really fun show. And outside of that, April 13th, I'll see you in Hurricane, West Virginia. And, well, coming up next week, I believe that's February 28th, I'll be at Coal Bank Hall in Fairmont, West Virginia for RSW. I'll tell you again. It's Saturday night special. Me and Dee Dee Vice versus Frat Daddy and Paparazzi. That one's a guaranteed. It's going to be a good match, good banger of a match. So I think that's pretty much it, man. I've done covered every base that I had, plus some of the locker room.
Hell yeah, look at you go. All right, Kadd Colvalt, any merch, socials, anything you, upcoming dates, put her all out there for us.
The delay.
That's a delay, Bubba.
Hey, man.
Wow.
That happens.
We'll try it again.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I promise I'm here.
Yeah, you're good.
But okay, yeah. So stuff going on in the world of Kadd Colvalt. Yes. So match wise, right now, March 7th, Fayetteville, West Virginia, Cadillac Jackson. I'm coming for that ass. Cadillac's been pissing me off, man. Listen, man, Cadillac Jackson, what a guy. What a person.
Quite a character. Man.
That's a perfect example of you never know who's watching.
Oh Lord, I promise I'm alive, guys. I promise.
We were talking about Cadillac anyway. It's fine. You brought up Cadillac. The talk of West Virginia, baby.
But yeah, got Cadillac Jackson. I got Cadillac Jackson coming up March 7th in Fayetteville. It's Kadd Colvalt on all the socials. Kadd. I know it's a weird spelling, but Kadd Colvalt. That's all my socials. Merch. I do got some merch available. I doubt anyone wants any Kadd Colvalt merch right now, but
come on.
Hey, if you do, I got ways to get it off of my Instagram. You can always go take a look at that. Recently, just made a YouTube channel. Started posting some matches that I've been having. So if you want to check that out, go and give that a look-see. But I'm also getting some new gear made. I'm trying out different things. Don't tell Joe Brody because he is strictly a tights and trunks type of guy. But I'm getting some like Muay Thai shorts made that I think are going to be really cool.
Nice.
So yeah. I know. He's gonna kill me. I'm gonna walk in one day, kick pads on, Muay Thai shorts, and he's gonna blow a gasket. It's gonna be a bad day for sure.
Dude, if we can get that video for the channel, it'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, that's just what my life is looking like right now.
I love it, man.
Of course, man. Of course, whenever that day comes, whenever that day comes, I'll just wear a body cam, and I'll make sure to get that footage for you.
You got to do a gear reveal.
I tell you, I got to give it to Kadd Colvalt. He has been throwing some curveballs tonight. He wasn't aware you were going to be on. The internet's just really screwing with him, but he's hanging in there. He's barely shaking. He's shaking a little bit, but not as much as I would be shaking. So I give it to you, man. You've done the struggle tonight.
Yep. That was a good interview. All things considered, it's a good interview. Hey,
boys, I'm trying.
Yeah, dude, the internet sucks sometimes. It's just how it works.
Dude, like I haven't been through an interview in West Virginia independent wrestlers. Like this is like I've had to cut off interviews because the internet didn't work. We trucked through this one, by God. Anybody got any final thoughts?
Hey, hold up! I got something to say. If you guys can hear me.
Yeah, man. Please do. Yeah, have at it.
Okay. I want to say, guys, I've had a damn blast, and I'm sorry about the internet. The area's having a rough time, and everything's all messed up. But I'd love to come back. I've had a great time, Marcus. It's a pleasure meeting you, brother. I hope that I get to meet you in person one day. I'd love to wrestle you. Spooky Lou, my man, thank you for the opportunity. It means the world.
Hell yeah.
And I promise next time I'll have some better Wi-Fi and I won't be cutting out as much.
No, you're good. Because I tell you what, last Tuesday we were supposed to do this, and Marcus Twist, you know about my pipeline, my house water line problems I be having around here, and it cost me the podcast. So he waited a whole week, and here we are doing it. So that was on me. He came through. I think things turned out all right today. I appreciate you both.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you guys, man. Hey, maybe one of these days we'll end up running across each other. That'd be awesome, man. And I mean, just before we go, to drive home my point, you never know who's watching you. I've watched plenty of Cadillac Jackson matches. I pay attention to Cadillac Jackson a lot. I've watched a lot of promos. I follow him. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I pay attention to what he's doing.
There you go.
Like,
You never know.
never know who's watching you. Marcus Twist might be watching you. I pay attention to everything.
And Marcus Twist, congratulations, sir, on the big match coming up. I'm excited for you. So, yeah.
Dude, over the moon, brother. Over the moon.
Hell yeah. Good things happening to good people. This is why we do it. Fellas, I'll ask you to hang on the line if your internet will allow it. Give it up for Kadd Colvalt, busting his ass, only 6 months in. Did a damn good podcast, all things considered. Spooky Lou loves you. Go out there, live your dreams, treat each other with kindness and respect, but don't take no shit from nobody. Unless it's Joe Brody and you're only 6 months in. Take a little bit of his shit. Spooky Lou loves you. All the other things we say at the end. Stay tuned. One dropping every day this week. We got more coming. We're out of here.